Dragon Ball, Pokemon, Kaiju, and more. It's Steven's Toy Reviews. Hello there, collectors. It's Steven here, and today I am bringing you something a little bit unique here. So, as many of you know, I am a major Metroid fan, and I love everything about it. I've played through every single game except Other M twice. I have plenty of collectibles. I have 15 small 2.5-inch World of Nintendo Metroids, but out of all of the Metroid collectibles, this is the one that's my most favorite. Today, I'm bringing you a unique review of the Zoomoth Baby Metroid 1-to-1 Replica Ice version. This was made as a Wonder Festival exclusive in 2012. I believe it was winter, alongside a normal version. Both of these are technically a 2.0 because Zoomoth also released an original one, I believe, in Wonder Festival 2011, either the winter or the summer. Now, here's a unique detail about all three of those 1-to-1 Baby Metroids from Other M. There are only 50 of them in existence. 50 Frozen, 50 version 2, and 50 original. That means if you find one of these and you're a Metroid fan, you're going to want to jump on it sooner rather than later. So this review is going to be for those of you who are in a pinch and you need help making up your mind. Let's take a look to see if this is worth adding into your collection. Unfortunately, I don't own any of the other Zoomoth Metroid releases. I really do hope I can get the other two Baby Metroids, but we'll see one day. Anyway, what I can tell you from this Ice version, the Frozen version of the Baby Metroid, is that the membrane does look really cool. It's not just going to be a super sloppy white paint added on. No, there's a nice, unique spray to it, which is pretty dang sweet when you see it in person. It's not just straightforward stencil. It does look like it fades in some areas and comes back fuller in others, so it does look nice. The only real concern that I have is that underneath the Metroid, where its mouth would be alongside the fangs, is that there are a couple of areas of some loose, almost bubbles that were in the vinyl that were popped. That's the only quality control issue that I have. Otherwise, all of the details look really cool in terms of sculpt. We do have the actual innards of the Metroid in the membrane for what you can mostly see here because it is obscured rather well by the frozen aspects of this Metroid. They all look perfectly fine. And then when you take a look at the undercarriage of the Metroid, where the fangs and the mouth is going to be, you can actually see traces of an original paint scheme here, almost as if the Metroid isn't truly fully frozen. It's still in the process of freezing, or maybe it's thawing out one way or another. You can see the original coloration in some small spots of the Metroid. I think this is a rather unique touch because that's something I think would be overlooked if it's going to be a quick get it out the door repaint. So all in all, the Zoomoth Metroid does have a couple of small minor quality control issues on the bottom where it does look like there was a bubble that formed in the vinyl in the molding process, but yeah, otherwise it looks completely frozen. Now, for the Metroid here, in terms of articulation, there really is only one joint, and what you can do is you can grab the membrane and you can spin it. Now, keep this in mind. The innards of the Metroid and the undercarriage of the Metroid, those are actually two separate pieces of vinyl which slip in together between the membrane. So yes, you can actually separate them and pop them apart and pull them out. And you can actually display this without the membrane. It's pretty creepy looking, but let me tell you, it's a pain in the ass to get it all connected together again. So I would definitely recommend not doing it unless you are perfectly cool with being frustrated. Now, something I wanted to demonstrate here, I'm borrowing the Ultraviolet World of Nintendo Metroid here, the 6-inch one, only available at GameStop. The Zoomoth Metroid membrane is really, really stiff and made of a harder vinyl compared to the softer plastic that's made for the World of Nintendo Metroid. So if you're used to that, this is going to be a little bit different for you. Now we're going to go ahead and move on over to the size comparison here, so this way you can see how big this one is. It's going to be rather similar in overall size to the World of Nintendo 6-inch Metroid, but I'd have to say that you're going to have to make the same amount of shelf space for this one if you do decide to display it. The World of Nintendo Metroid is obviously based off of the Metroid Prime Metroid, so it's going to have a little bit more mass going out width-wise. This one has a little bit more height, but okay, I'm getting into technical details. Yes, the Zoomoth Metroid should blend in well with your other World of Nintendo Metroids, should you have them. So, buy now, skip, or wait for a deal. First and foremost, I don't quite know how the guy managed to figure out that this is the actual size that the baby Metroid was in Other M. I mean, I'm sure Samus is like 6'3", and you can measure based on the height of her torso and all that fun stuff, but I don't know. Is this right? I don't know. I'm a huge Metroid buff, and I still don't know. But anyway, the point of the matter is that this is a super rare version of Metroid, admittedly not popular in the fandom, but still, it's pretty cool that we have an alternative to the World of Nintendo Metroid, even if it's going to be like finding a shiny Pokemon in real life. That being said, this is the pride and joy of my Metroid collection, and it now sits in the unique Metroid containment tank that I have on top of my display cabinets. Yes, and he does have his own Metroid guard there. Yep, pretty cool. I really do love this one. It reflects light so well. It is quite the centerpiece for my display. So I'm going to have to say, if you're looking to get this in any capacity, if you see this pop up on eBay, Mandarake, if you're on Buy.e and you happen to see it pop up somewhere, wherever it may be, and you can make the purchase, if you got the money, there are only 50 of the Frozen, the version 2, and the original release. Kinda hard to say no. You should get it. Well, collectors, that brings us to the end of the video today, and I just wanted to take a second to thank you so much for watching. Now, you've heard a lot from me. I'd like to hear a little bit from you. Drop in the comments down below whether or not you liked it, you hated it, or maybe you were somewhere in between. I also want to take an extra second here for a nice, humongous thank you to all the patrons for SDR over the last month who have really helped the channel grow into what it can be today. So to all of you, 2 big thumbs up. Thank you very much. And now the end card should be popping up, which will give you a few clickable links, like maybe to subscribe or head on over to my Patreon, or some short URLs like to my social media or to my Teespring store. There's also a video I hand selected for you, so if you want to watch another STR video, I hand selected some good content for you to watch, so definitely check out that video. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll catch ya in the next video.